But Cooper Rush has come in for the Cowboys the last two games. And even last year, if you remember, he led them to a big road victory on Sunday Night Football against the Vikings. And Dallas ultimately ended up winning the NFC East. I'm impressed by this guy. And I'm not saying he's better than Dak Prescott. If you put him in the same position Dak Prescott was in when he started his career, I doubt that he would be able to get this big contract that Dak got and have all the success that Dak has. But I know one thing's for sure. If I'm an opposing defensive coordinator trying to game plan for some of the best teams in the league, like Dak Prescott doesn't really scare me. And he did not play well against Tampa Bay in week 1 before he got hurt. He was awful in the playoff game last year against San Francisco. And I'm starting to wonder, like I've wondered it for a while, but I wonder if Dallas is starting to wonder or regret that contract they gave Dak, because Cooper Rush was put in a pretty good situation last night and took advantage of it, made all the plays he needed to. And that's kind of been a topic of conversation with the Cowboys. Is Dak just in a great position with a good offensive line, usually, and good weapons and a good running back? And is that why he has so much success? So it's just crazy. 2 weeks ago, we're thinking the Cowboys season is over after one game. And now all of a sudden they've won 2 big games with Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott. He's not out for the season. He's going to be back soon. So Dallas is definitely a team to watch going forward. And maybe Cooper Rush is saving Mike McCarthy's job for all we know, because we both thought also that Mike McCarthy was going to be as good as gone by season's end. And maybe he still will, but Cooper Rush is doing whatever he could to possibly save that job.
Yeah, I wish Cooper Rush out of there. No disrespect to the guy. My dad and we actually had a half-hour conversation on this very topic on the phone earlier today, prior to me getting on the show. So it's very fresh in my mind, some of the stuff that we talked about. Now, he's like you, like he didn't really say it, but then he did say it. It's like, all right, Cooper Rush is 3-0, listen, we might as well say it, right? Say what's on your mind. If he continues to win, should we continue with Cooper Rush? And I think that's what you want to say, but you didn't want to just make it look like you're overreacting right now. I get it. And a lot of people is going to be overreacting. Look, we all could agree that Dak Prescott's contract was a bad contract. Everybody knows that. Even Dak know he got away with a steal and a robbery. It's just clear as day. But at the same time, he still offers upside because he can do a lot more things from a talent perspective that at times when he does show up,
let me just ask you this. If Dak Prescott was playing the last 2 games like Cooper Rush was, do you think the Cowboys would be 2-1? Because
it's not about, I don't think it's about Dak. And the point where I was just about to get to is that it's more of a philosophy thing, because we had the show a couple times talking about this very topic, and salute to Ryan Jones, who was on the show. But he made a good point, which is, I think, evident right now, is that now that Dak Prescott is hurt, they're going to commit more to running the football, which is something they're supposed to do. And I think right now, Cooper Rush is fitting that mold, because now Kellen Moore is not throwing 30 times a game. Dak Prescott was in this same situation where he was a game manager and they was a run-first team. He got them to the playoffs doing just that. But when they asked Dak to do more than what he was supposed to do, now we get games where he's not showing up and they miss the playoffs. So what we need is not to get pass happy when Dak comes back. First of all, we don't even need to rush him back into the game. You have a game manager right now. Let Dak take all the time to heal. We don't want what happened to Russell Wilson last year, because he claimed and said, I wasn't declining. It was the injury. I came back a little bit too sooner than what I was supposed to. Okay, cool. Take note of that. Allow Dak Prescott to get fully healed. And when he gets fully healed, now you need to yield and take Cooper Rush out of the game and throw him back in there, because he shouldn't be doing more than what Cooper Rush is doing right now, which is managing the game and winning the game off your 2 backs and with your defense.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point, because the Cowboys are paying Dak Prescott $160 million, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to justify it, or else I think they are. And when you have a quarterback you're paying that much money, you're going to want them to at least try to show that they're worth it, improve that worth. And when you're throwing the ball with Dak Prescott 35 times, that's not really a great way to win, even though their offensive line is a little spotty right now. I agree. I think Peters, after he came into the game, a real difference was made. Pollard had a couple nice explosive runs, but the Cowboys are just crazy, man, because this team has a lot of talent and they've been close over the last few years, even though it hasn't really translated in playoff wins. And I'm really curious what the future holds, because I don't know what Mike McCarthy and his future with the organization is going to be after this season. And they have Dak under contract for a few more years now, at least. So they're stuck with him. They're committed to him. But Cooper Rush, every time I watch him, I'm not sure how good he is, how high his ceiling is. He's only played in 3 games. We have a long way to go, and we've seen a plenty of a large sample size with Dak Prescott under center. But I've just seen the way Cooper Rush has played the last 2 weeks, and I've been really impressed, just relative to my expectations, because I really thought there was a chance the Cowboys season was over after that week 1 loss to Tampa Bay with Dak hurt. But this team still has plenty of talent, and their playmakers, both on offense and defense, really did show up last night.
And I think I want to pivot more back to the Giants' perspective here, because, even if they won the game and they went 3-0, right? Listen, I picked the Cowboys to win this game. Those who I got to talk about it with, because we didn't do a show, but and I didn't really get to post it in the chat, my prediction, but I had the Cowboys winning this game because this game felt like a game that the Giants will blow, and they clearly did. Now, even if they won this game and went 3-0, I still would have them missing the playoffs, because I never looked at them as a legit contender. And them being 2-0, yeah, that's cool and all that. But even if they went 3-0, I still would have them missing the playoffs, because when I look at this division, the Cowboys are only going to get healthier. Michael Gallup is going to come back, and now the wide receiving core is looking pretty solid alongside CD and the guy Noah Brown, who's another guy that a lot of people ain't talking about, but he's stepping up to the plate as
Schultz
the third
too,
receiver.
right? He didn't play last night.
You got Schultz, you got the running game still. So they're only going to get better and healthier. The Eagles look like a dominant team right now. So the Giants is no competition in them, in my honest opinion. And say what you want about the Washington Commanders and Carson Wentz, but they have talent. They have more talent than what the Giants have.